evening, good morning, Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. And as usual, we do our football review. Week 8, Pat.
Week
A lot
8,
of
big week.
lot of interesting games this week. Like we said last week, week 7 is usually like the deciding week where you separate the good teams from the bad teams. Most of the time, it's
Oh, it's messed up.
I mean, honestly, you kind of like separate the guys from
No,
the
you're
really
right.
bad teams when you get into the positioning of draft. Like that list I put out this week, if you're on that list, pretty bad. When you could say like ten to 15 teams are really bad this year, which is interesting. First game this week, Pat. Patriots Bills.
Hmm. Man, so I was pretty big on the Bills, but I don't know, man. I mean, I would go. That's a tough one. I go with Buffalo. Um, I don't really like what I'm seeing from Cam Newton. He still has no receivers. I think Edelman's out. I don't know where they're getting any offense from.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you
Buffalo,
on that.
I mean, they're not as good as I thought they were because I don't think their defensive line is as good as it has been the last 2 years or so. I think their defense is a little bit worse. And I'm not sure Allen, even though I like him, I don't know how many games he's going to put you on his back and win.
Yeah, I don't think Patriots have enough to beat Buffalo. Uh, this is kind of like the game that Buffalo kind of needs to beat them and just take claim of that division. Uh, even though Miami is on their heels, but Buffalo, this is where Buffalo kind of like says,
Oh, I like Miami. I like what they're doing.
yeah. I don't think the Patriots, like you said, they don't have enough offense, and Cam's just coming back from COVID, and you can see his body probably is just weak right now. So I don't think
Uh,
they stand a
his
chance.
body language has been weak for 5 years, man.
Next game we got Titans Bengals.
Oh, well, I mean, Tennessee's really good. The Bengals are going for that draft pick. I don't even think it should be close.
Yeah, yeah. Tennessee they pick back. I think they pick back up their ways. They win this with no problem. Like we said, Bengals are trying to figure it out. They're one of those teams that they kind of like should purge, should let the rest of the team purge that roster for some of those veteran players and start building around Barrow, start building around the receiver. I mean, AJ Green keeps saying he don't want to get traded, but actually the Bengals should trade him because he's still good and
Definitely.
they can get assets for him. That's one of the things with some of these teams that when you got these young quarterbacks,
Or Boyd. I mean, you could probably get
yeah.
something for him too.
Raiders Browns.
Man, Cleveland's a tough one for me. Sometimes they play really good, and sometimes they look really bad. So it's in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Hmm. I'll take the home team.
Yeah. Same way here. Like I think Cleveland. Believe it or not, it's always that say addition by subtraction. I think that ODB is so good that sometimes Baker wasn't going through his progressions and he just was through at ODB. But for some reason, he had his best game of the year last week after ODB got hurt. He caught fire.
Yeah, he was
I got
down. He had to come back in
yeah,
that.
I got the Browns too. Colts Lions. Lions made a trade this week. Got Everson Griffin to try to shore up that defensive
Yeah.
line.
I mean, Everson Griffin had a 50. He had like a 50 rating as a defensive lineman, so I don't know really what difference he's going to make. I like the Colts. I think
Uh,
their defense is still pretty good. I mean, unless
That's it.
Stafford lights it up,
That's an interesting game. I kind of like the
it
Lions because
is.
they're home.
It's pretty close. I would say it's close.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the
I
Lions
can't.
because the Lions are home. It's a
I
home
can't have the
team with
Lions
Vegas
keep winning
wins.
and be on our tail though. So
Next game is the Vikings Packers. I know you wish the Vikings could win this game, do something, but no way they're
Vikings
gonna
are
beat the
awful.
Packers.
The Vikings are awful. That's 2 wins
That
we got coming up right there.
that'll be good for Tyrone. I sent the link. I thought Tyrone was gonna join us. Him and Anthony. That'd have been good to see them sitting here and rumble about this game as well as
No,
the
the
49er
Packers
game.
have just too much offense, and the Vikings are definitely going for that draft pick. They're
Yeah,
giving away everybody. I saw them bring up like 5 practice squad players onto their team this week. So they're not trying to win anything. They got 2 rookie cornerbacks. Aaron is gonna go off.
yeah,
As
yeah.
much as I hate to say that.
Chiefs, Chiefs, Saints.
Thought the Chiefs were playing the Jets.
I mean Jets, Chief Jets. I don't know. I said Saints, and that's who you guys are playing. My bad.
No, it's a 22-point spread. So
Yeah, yeah. It's right now. It's 20. That's crazy.
I mean, the Jets are when you put your rookie defensive lineman on the trading block, that's insane to me. So
Yeah, yeah.
Chiefs by
Interesting to see.
40. I don't know.
Chiefs will probably go up by 14 and just go into a different zone. 20 is a serious spread. Definitely when you got probably the best team in the league playing the worst team in the league. But that like I always say about bookies, they're in business for a reason and they stay in business for a reason. It's very rarely that the book is wrong. They come out on the winning end quite often. So got to be
I
careful with
don't.
that game if you
I
think that
actually
the
don't think
Jets.
Darnold is as bad as people think he is. I mean, he makes some good throws,
I think I
but
think I think Darnold is real good. I just think that sometimes with these good quarterbacks, I don't think a lot of players are busts when they come to the NFL. I think it's more of the organization they go to and the system that they go to, and
I
it could
agree
destroy
totally.
them. It could destroy them. Good game. Another good game at 1 o'clock is the Fox. Is on Fox. Is Rams Dolphins, man.
Oh boy, Tua's first game against Aaron Donald. Mm, 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 mm. It's in Miami, right?
Yeah,
Miami's a tough place to play.
yeah, it's in Miami.
I mean, I'd pick the Rams just because I think they're a little more established, but it wouldn't shock me if Miami won that game.
Yeah. Somebody said, Tom Brady, the GOAT Tom Brady won't lose another game this season. No more Nova Belichick and trash bottom dweller receivers. The GOAT finally got his elite receivers. We'll get on that. We'll talk about Tampa Bay in a minute. Steelers Ravens. It's 1 o'clock game.
Probably the best game of the day.
Yeah, that's gonna be a bloodbath. I mean, usual.
You know, oh man. I mean, Pittsburgh's got to lose eventually. I don't think in this NFL you can even go 16-0. So, but in a division game, I pick Pittsburgh though. I think they're rolling. I think Roethlisberger's playing well. He's gotten 3 really good receivers. When you talk about Claypool, Deontay Johnson, I just think
I think they're gonna struggle.
Baltimore's a good team.
They done lost their middle linebacker 2 weeks in a row. First it was Bush, now it was the other kid who made that big stop on Henry. And then
They
it's
still
in
fly.
Baltimore,
They
so
still fly around though. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
this
very
might be one
fast
of the
defense.
very good defense too. Pittsburgh plays so good in the first half, like they're like lights out in the first half, and then they usually let teams creep back in the game. So that'll be an interesting game. I'm gonna take the Ravens only because they're home.
Hmm. Oh, they are
Only
home.
because they're home,
Yeah.
and I think the Ravens got to prove something more than the Steelers do. I think the Steelers know who they are, know what they're going, know what they to expect, and
I mean, can the Ravens outscore you if it comes into a shootout though? That's my question with them.
no, absolutely not.
Well,
Next game is Chargers Broncos.
In Denver?
It's in Denver.
That'll be close. Denver's a tricky team at home, but
Yeah.
the Chargers are a better team. So
Yeah.
I go with the Chargers. I like Herbert.
Yeah,
But Denver keeps. But
Herbert might
Denver's
be
tough
breaking
at
the
home.
mold, man. Herbert might be the best one out of them Oregon quarterbacks. Yo.
He looks really good.
He knows how to sling that football.
Yeah, he does. And when Allen's rolling,
I think they can get him. The another 4:25 start game is the Saints come marching in to Soldier Field.
well, it's going to be very cold in Chicago today. We're expecting snow, I believe. Saints don't have Michael Thomas. They don't have Callaway. I don't think they have Sanders. I think the Bears defense in that weather, I think we need this game. And I think we find a way. Probably ugly. But when you start coming to Chicago in the cold and you're an indoor team,
I think the Bears could probably win this game 13-7. Keep that score low. Try to score. Keep an eye out on. I'm just gonna say it right now. Keep an eye out on Patterson this game. For some reason, I think Patterson's gonna do something this game, and I think he might get a kickoff return back. Because one thing about Chicago, Pat, I get on you about your Bears. Defense is never going to be a problem in Chicago. Even going back as far as Jim McMahon, like just the offense just always had. You might get a running back here and there. You might get a receiver. It just never is a prolific offense for some reason in Chicago.
So let me ask you something. When you watch the Bears, who do you put the blame on?
I actually put the blame on them drafting Trubisky. I think that pick was such a reach that they should have just picked according to their board instead of moving up to pick him. I think when you look at Trubisky when he was in North Carolina, he was more of a system quarterback. So when a guy like that gets drafted, you draft him according to the board. You don't move up. When you move up in the draft, and then those expectations jump higher,
Hey, Pop.
that's when it becomes a major problem. So I think they should have just waited and just picked according to their board. You had Watson there that would have been there, and you had Lamar Jackson that would have been there. No, not Lamar. You had the guy,
Trubisky
our guy, the quarterback, the guy. Mahomes was there, so I think they should have
And Watson.
really. Yeah, I think they should have waited and drafted according to.
We
the
didn't
board.
take. Well, we didn't.
Well,
We
we
missed out on.
definitely-
We missed out on him too. On both of them.
Yeah, because what happens is that you get these quarterbacks like some of them are can't miss guys. So if your board doesn't allow you to just draft according to your board, best available player, that's what a lot of these GMs do, which is nothing wrong with that, because then you get a surplus of players. But when you start moving up in the draft, what we do as fans is, we done moved up in the draft to get a guy. When you do that and you start giving up more assets, you can't miss on that guy.
It was the trade
what I
that was
mean?
the problem. If we stayed at 3 and picked Trubisky, it wouldn't have been so bad. But we had to trade up for him.
Exactly.
But Trubisky was ranked high. It wasn't like, he wasn't going in the top 15 or 20. He was definitely getting drafted.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So hold up, Anthony. What do you think about that Saints Bears game?
Like I said, from what I seen from the Bears last week, like you said, defense is never going to be a problem, but their offense still sputters, and I always have to pick the team with the better quarterback. You know what I'm saying, to win, unless there's other mitigating factors like a strong running game,
weather.
and weather. So are they playing in Chicago?
Yes, they are.
In the snow.
So then this might be a Bears type of win. This might be a Bears type of game. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Give me a second, guys. But I'm gonna pick probably the Bears in this one.
All right.
You know, it's funny, man. The Bears' offense does stink, um, but I don't necessarily think it's a quarterback problem. I mean, people talk about Trubisky and they talk about Foles. You know, Chase Daniel started a couple games. We had Mike Glennon start a couple games. So there's been 5 quarterbacks in this system that
Hmm.
couldn't get the offense rolling. And Nagy is on the hot seat because Bears fans are hot. But if you can't run the ball and you can't do play action and you can't do anything, nobody's going to load the box on you so they can play us in their base coverage, and it's tough. You know, Nick Foles has 2.4 seconds to get rid of that ball. What do you want him to do? Mooney was eating Ramsey's. Mooney was all over Ramsey, and we couldn't get him the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the issues I
Ramsey
always
got
see. Like you guys,
Ramsey got.
and I see my boy Quinn is starting to pick it up too. I mean that defense is a Super Bowl defense. It's just a matter of being able to get that 20 points. You know, for some
We're
reason,
like a we're we're like a step off on defense, I'd say. I mean, that Rams game, we could have had 4 turnovers. People forget that we had Goff reeling for a while there when our strong safety dropped 2 plays back to back and he batted down the pick 6. You
yeah.
know, we forced 2 fumbles. We only picked up 1. That game could have been a lot closer than it was, but
I mean, like I always say about a defense, if your defense can be good, but the minute your defense start turning the ball over, causing havoc, getting fumbles, interceptions, always having you in the plus turnover ratio, you're gonna win games automatically.
you know, it's
It's
funny,
just by the
man.
extra possessions.
Going into that game, the focus had to be Aaron Donald. So the Bears did a pretty good job against Donald, but we let everybody else get off because we paid so much attention to him.
Hmm.
I mean, when you triple team him and you're letting blitzers come in, I mean that's not. You gotta, you know, at some point you gotta let your guard or center block him 1-on-1 because we don't have a line that's gonna, protect like that. Our
What
left
about
tackle is just our left tackle's a turnstile over there, huh?
next game is gonna be 49ers Seahawks.
Ooh, you know what? Uh, I'm gonna pick the 49ers. I think they're starting to get a little healthy. They got a couple guys coming back this week, actually, Ward and a few others, and they just keep putting out running backs that can run the ball. So I like the 49ers. I think the 49ers may end up winning that division when it's all said and done, depending on their health.
I think this is a very interesting game.
It is.
The
It'll be
Seahawks,
close, I think.
the Seahawks, usually when they say the home team, but the Seahawks ain't got the 12 isn't there right now. Um, this game could get very, very nasty. I think the Seahawks coming off that loss to the Cardinals are probably be a little mad. Um,
That's true. Kind of
as
like the
as you
Rams were.
as you can see, Russell Wilson probably had one of his worst games in a while. Finally, as they would say, because no quarterback is going to go the whole season without having a blemish. But
I mean, ideally, you don't want to play a team when they come off getting embarrassed.
if I was the Niners, I'd play this game to try to make the Seahawks burn them. I mean, Seahawks run the football.
No, for
I
sure.
always say this about the Seahawks, and I will continue saying it. Watch Lockett. That's all I'm gonna say is people may not realize how underrated he is as a receiver, but he always shows up. Lockett just always seems to
No,
make a
very
play or
good.
two where he kills teams and
Can the Seahawks play enough defense is going to be their problem.
The key for the Seahawks is that front seven. They're trying to shape that front seven into form. Secondary is still young, real young. So that's going to be a very interesting game. The 49ers, what they should do is actually try to score and push the ball down the field some. The last game of the week is going to be the New York Football Giants against the Buccaneers. As the guy in the chat, Trumpet King says he's been betting on the GOAT Tom Brady for the last couple of weeks and been winning money. I don't think the Giants. You know what's interesting? The Giants' defense is actually good. A
Yeah,
lot
they're
of
not that
people may
bad.
not realize their defense is solid. They fight. They're heady. They make tackles.
Well, I think their coach is pretty inspiring. I actually like Judge there.
Yeah,
I like fiery coaches though, so I think he gets them revved up. I just don't know. They don't have the talent.
yeah, yeah. And plus, the Buccaneers, are rounding into shape. They're probably about to go on that little 3-4 game run where they just destroy the league. And as Tom Brady does every year, once in the middle of the season, he puts everybody on notice. And what you hope with Tom Brady is that he cools off towards the playoffs, and that's has usually been the MO when they haven't won Super Bowls and when he was in New England. Um, but the Buccaneers have a very interesting team. Like I said, the defense that they played against the Packers, if that defense shows up, the Buccaneers won't lose another game.
Yeah,
But if
no,
the defense
they
that
have a
played
really good
against
D.
if the defense that played against you guys the week prior to that shows up, they can't beat a good team. So we'll see. I
I
mean,
mean,
go ahead, Pat.
I agree with you. I don't think their defense was really that bad. I think their offense was really bad against us. And everyone knows how you have to beat Brady. It's not a
Yeah.
secret. You got to get to him, and we got to him.
So it's gonna be interesting. Let's talk about some trade rumors. I know Seattle has been sniffing around trying to get Older Smith from the Cowboys. Cowboys allegedly told them no. I know it's been a couple little things. They say that Michael Thomas, his name's been out there on the trade radar, and they said no.
That might be why he's sitting out for all these weeks. I mean, there's something going on there with his ankle.
I know that a couple people been saying the Cowboys should trade Amari Cooper. I'm not opposed to that, as long as they can get at least two picks within the first 3 rounds. That's all I care about is 2 picks in the first 3 rounds. I'd get rid of Cooper's 20 million. Me personally, as a Cowboy fan, I'd get rid of Cooper's $20 million contract and give me 2 picks, at least a second and a third, or 1 and a 3, and I'd be happy with that. The reason why is because we got to rebuild our defense, and we got Gallup, we got Lamb, we
You
got
think there's going to be a
Cedric
lot more
Wilson.
trades? You think there's going to be a lot more trades happening?
It depends on today's games. I think it's going to be at least 3 or 4 good trades. It's going to be interesting. I think the Jets, like you said with Quinn and Williams, I think that trade will be stupid. But it's like um, if you trade this guy, you're not going to get a number one for him. So now you're going to lose value with the player because you drafted him in the first round. I know Dallas been allegedly to him, but the Dallas front office and the Jets front office got bad blood all the way going back to Jamal Adams' failed trade. So we'll
That's who I
see.
wanted instead of Mitch.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah, yeah. So I
The
mean,
Bears are in. The Bears have some trade rumors too. I just don't know if we're going to pull the plug. We seem like a very stubborn team. We have 6 or 5 comp picks though. The lineman over here.
yeah,
I've been screaming for Alex Mack for 3 weeks. So
yeah. That's another thing. Team I think could they're on a bye this week, so they from playing Thursday, but it's gonna get interesting. I think it's gonna be it has the potential to be some interesting stuff before Tuesday.
I hope
Interesting
so. I hope we do something.
trade deadlines the same day as election day. What a day, huh?
It's
But
more like election week, but
yeah, we already know how that's gonna go. probably be in court for about 2 weeks with that stuff. But but we'll see.
We'll find out in like March.
We'll see. We'll see how things fan out this week. Anything else you want to add, Pat?
No, I'm looking forward to this trade deadline, man. I mean, I think the Bears have to make a move. They have to. We have the picks. I mean, we have 10 picks in this draft. I wouldn't give away a first again for sure, but you can give away some fifths and some sixths and some sevenths, and you take on a contract, maybe get a center or a guard, and I think it changes. It changes, what we can do. People don't realize this Bears offensive line, what we've got really going on. I mean, we have a right tackle playing right guard. We have a left guard playing center. We have a defensive end playing left guard. Just get somebody in that can play a position.
And you won't have to give up much to get a guy like Alex Mack. I mean,
No.
he's basically towards the end of his career.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Just came up to the Browns might think about getting rid of OBJ. I'm telling you, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, but it's going to be hard trading for a hurt player. So if teams want to give up a third or a fourth, I'd go and sweep OBJ up because he's hurt. At the end of the day, you could say he could come back from the ACL, but you never know. So
I mean, if you can steal him.
Yeah. But with that, man, we're going to close for the week. Everybody have a good week. Enjoy football. Got some really good games this week. Like Pat said, Bears Saints 4:25, and that 1 o'clock game, with the Ravens Steelers should be black and blue football. So
look at it and talk about Brian. Look at it and talk about Brian Greasy.
Oh boy! With that, everybody stay safe and be good out there.